Have you ever woken up and felt like the day began with an invisible weight pressing on your chest? The alarm rings. Notifications explode on your phone. Emails pile up before your coffee is ready. Family expects attention. Colleagues demand focus, and friends scroll past you with filtered perfection. And in the middle of this, a voice whispers, "What's the point?" It feels like you are carrying a bag of stones from yesterday. Old disappointments, small betrayals, regrets never spoken. You drag them into today as if invisible garbage clings to your chest. You move through life like a traveler walking in fog without a compass. You try meditation apps, calming playlists, even trips to nature. But peace slips through your fingers like sand. Still the same question echoes. Am I just drifting like dust blown around by fate? Or is there a purpose waiting to be uncovered? Centuries ago, a mystic named Ibn Arabi walked through Andalusia, Mecca, and Damascus. He lived through wars, betrayals, and exile. Yet he discovered something profound. Purpose is not outside, it is within, buried under layers of noise. He whispered, "He who knows himself knows his Lord." And with that, your search begins. Have you ever felt trapped inside yourself, as if your own mind was a maze with no clear exit? Ibn Arabi described the self as a labyrinth. At every turn you encounter masks. Your public identity, your private fears, your restless desires. Yet none of these masks are the real you. Life feels like a city of mirrors. Everywhere you turn, you see reflections. Some tall, some small, some distorted. You recognize yourself, but also feel confused. This is how the inner world feels. Reflections upon reflections, but never the truth. Sufis call this path isuluk, the travel through illusions. The labyrinth is not a mistake. It is the first step. Every wall you hit, you learn. Every false reflection teaches you where not to look. Ibn Arabi insisted that awareness of the maze is already progress. The moment you realize you are lost, you are closer to finding your center. Your journey of purpose begins with accepting that confusion itself is a teacher. What if every person in your life is a mirror showing you something about yourself? Ibn Arabi taught that every encounter, whether with a friend, stranger, or enemy, is a reflection of the divine. The kind person reveals mercy. The harsh critic exposes your hidden pride. The betrayer uncovers your attachment. Once a student came to Ibn Arabi heartbroken by betrayal. He asked, "Why must I suffer this?" Ibn Arabi replied, "See the lesson behind the wound. Every scar is a mirror, and in every mirror he reveals himself. Life," he said, "is a book of recognition. Every person you meet is a page. Your purpose is to read carefully. So when someone frustrates you, pause and ask, what is this encounter teaching me about myself? Purpose begins not in escape from others, but in recognizing yourself through them. Have you ever felt that somewhere inside, your soul already knows the way? Ibn Arabi believed that purpose is not invented, it is remembered. Deep within, your soul carries the coordinates of your journey. This is Insan al-Kamil, the perfect human. Not flawless, not superhuman, but aligned. Like a compass pointing north, your inner compass points toward divine attributes. Patience, mercy, wisdom, generosity. Imagine a spinning wheel. When it wobbles, it shakes violently. But once it finds its center, it spins smoothly. Life works the same way. When you align with your compass, chaos turns into rhythm. Even in the darkest night, the star does not disappear. It is always there, waiting for you to notice. Your purpose, too, waits within. hidden but never absent? Why do the deepest answers often come in silence, not in noise? Ibn Arabi spoke of kashf, unveiling. Silence is not emptiness. It is illumination. Purpose is like ink written on parchment. Without light it looks blank. With silence it shines. He lived in times of war and exile. Noise surrounded him. Yet he taught that chaos is only a veil. Behind it lies divine order. To uncover it, you must practice silence. Modern science now agrees. Mindfulness rewires the brain, calming the stress networks and strengthening clarity. Even 5 minutes of stillness begins to clear mental fog. Ask yourself, when was the last time you allowed silence to speak louder than noise? What do these teachings look like in your daily life? At work, deadlines trap you in the labyrinth. Notice how your boss's anger mirrors your hidden anxiety. On social media, scrolling fuels envy. Ibn Arabi would say, envy is a mirror showing where you abandoned gratitude. At home, family arguments spark impatience. But even this is a mirror, an invitation to practice mercy. One of Ibn Arabi's students once complained about constant arguments. Ibn Arabi told him, your anger is your own mirror. Clean it and the world clears. Every challenge is still a mirror. The question is whether you read it as distraction or as guidance. How can you live Ibn Arabi's wisdom in practical steps each day? Begin each morning in silence. 5 minutes of stillness, just breathing. Writing down thoughts to clear the fog. During the day, treat every encounter as a mirror. Ask yourself, what is this moment teaching me about myself? And in the evening, reflect with gratitude. Write 3 lessons of the day, where patience, mercy, or wisdom appeared. Walk the path of alignment by living these qualities. Science supports what the mystics always knew. Gratitude boosts dopamine and improves sleep. Mindfulness reshapes neural pathways. Emotional calm spreads across others like invisible light. When practiced daily, purpose stops being abstract. It becomes a lived reality, one day at a time. What happens when you live aligned with purpose? Purpose is not for you alone. It is light you carry into the world. One peaceful heart calms a family. One honest worker uplifts a workplace. Like a candle lighting countless flames, your light multiplies without losing itself. But purpose is not about ego. It is not saying I am chosen or I am special. True purpose dissolves ego. It reminds you that you are part of something vast. An ocean, not a drop. When you walk in purpose, your very presence becomes medicine for others. What if the meaning you've been chasing was already breathing within you? Purpose is not a distant mountain. It is here, in your breath, in your patience, in your kindness. Science confirms what mystics always knew. Presence reshapes the brain. Calm spreads through people like ripples across water. So pause. Listen. Purpose is not waiting in some future. It lives in this moment, in this very breath.